Recurring coccidiosis in poultry farm is often due to poor management practices that allow the parasite, which is the Emeria species, to survive, multiply and reinfect birds. And in this video, I'm going to give 8 causes or 8 reasons why coccidiosis keeps reoccurring in your farm, be it broilers or layer or farming generally. If this is your first time of coming across my YouTube channel, please help me to grow my channel by subscribing and give me a thumbs up. This will encourage me to do more. Do not hesitate to drop your questions in the comment section and I will respond to them. And don't forget to share so that others can benefit. Thanks. The number one reason of recurring coccidiosis in your broiler farm is wet and dirty litter. You see these Emeria oocytes, which is the eggs, they thrive well in moist, warm and dirty litter. So once you are able to keep your litter dry, then coccidiosis will not occur in your farm. Wet droppings and water spills provide the perfect breeding ground for this coccidiosis to thrive. And the solution or the best way is to keep your litter dry with proper ventilation and frequent turning or replacement. What I mean is that after some days you turn your litters so that the fresh one can come, the fresh one which is at the bottom can come up while the older one which is at the top can go down, or you replace as soon as possible and whenever you see that the litter is soaked. Then the second cause of recurring coccidiosis is overcrowding. You see, when we gather too many birds in a space, it increases the stress level of the birds and they also increase in the moisture of the litter or the droppings. So you now see that your droppings will get wet easily, and the more contact with infected feces, the more the disease spread or the parasite spread quickly. So what you just need to do is to maintain recommended stocking density. Give the birds enough space to reduce stress and contamination. The third point is poor biosecurity. The biosecurity is a very important point in poultry farming. When you allow visitors or equipment or new birds without proper sanitation, they spread these oocytes, so thereby increasing the reoccurrence of coccidiosis. Farm tools or equipment or rodents can also carry this coccidia, which is the eggs, from one pen to another. So you should try as much as possible to install food baths and disinfect your farming tools. Then any bird that you suspect to be sick of coccidiosis, isolate that birds and keep separately. And also try as much as possible to control rodents because they are also major carriers of these oocytes. The fourth point is incomplete treatment. This is very common among some farmers where the medication states that it should be administered for 5 days. They will administer it for 3 days and stop because they now see that the birds are healthy. This is a very wrong approach, and using the wrong dosage and short duration or ineffective drug allows some oocytes to survive. When you do this, you now discover that it's not all the oocytes that will die. Some will survive it, and by the time they come back again, it will be more severe than the previous one. So the survivor oocytes multiply and reinfect the flock, thereby increasing the chances of infection. All you just need to do, or the simple solution, is to follow a full treatment protocol and rotate drugs in order to prevent resistance. You should use anticoccidials properly. Do not abuse them. The fifth reason why coccidiosis keeps reoccurring on your farm is lack of rotation or drug resistance. When you repeatedly use the same anticoccidial drugs, this will lead to drug resistance. For instance, if you are using just one particular drug, say amprolium, over and over the years, this coccidiosis will build resistance to that particular drugs. Then the coccidia will become less sensitive to this treatment. So the solution to this is to rotate between anticoccidia drug classes or alternate with natural treatments. And now talking about natural treatment. Natural treatments are not very effective for treatment of coccidiosis. They are best when used as a preventive measures. So get this right. It's not that when you start seeing coccidiosis or you start seeing bloody stool, then you now rush to go and wash bitter leaf for them. It might work for you, it might work, but it is best for prevention rather than for curative when we are using natural treatment. Then the sixth point is stress and weak immunity. When there is stress from heat or overcrowding or poor ventilation and also poor nutrition, this weakens the bird's immune system and they become susceptible to coccidiosis. Then when weak birds are more likely to get infected again, then the solution is just to try as much as possible to minimize stress, ensure good nutrition and maintain a clean environment. Then the seventh point of reason why coccidiosis keep reoccurring is poor water management. When dirty or leaking drinkers create wet spots in the litter, this will make coccidiosis to thrive, and water can also be a medium for spreading of the oocytes if contaminated. And the solution is just to give clean and inspect your drinkers regularly, and if there is any leakage, try as much as possible to fix it before the rainy days. The eighth reason why coccidiosis keeps reoccurring is when you do not vaccinate, especially for the layers or the breeders. In long run, birds like layers or breeders, lack of coccidiosis vaccination leads to repeated outbreak. So consider coccidiosis vaccination for birds raised beyond 6 to 8 weeks, be it broilers or layers, before they start laying. Let me give you the bonus tip. Sometimes people will complain that there is always recurring coccidiosis on the farm and they keep on treating and treating. They cannot eradicate it. Now, let me give you a secret tip here. If coccidiosis keeps reoccurring, all you just need to do is get a lab test of the litter or droppings to identify the type of Emeria species that is affecting your birds, and also check for drug resistance. This will enable you to eradicate coccidiosis from your farm once and for all. Then let me also give you a second tip. For instance, once there is wet litters, there is every tendency of oocytes will multiply easily. So the only thing that you need to do is to keep the litter dry. Then once there is overcrowding, this encourages the fast spread of the infection of the coccidiosis, and the only way to prevent it is to space your beds properly. Then if you have poor treatment, it will lead to incomplete killing of the parasites, and in most cases that means to tell you that the parasites will reoccur again, the coccidiosis will reoccur again. So the best way to control is the correct drug and dosage administration. Then if you have an instance of drug resistance in coccidiosis, it's probably because of treatment failure. So once you just need to do is to rotate drugs, use another drugs entirely. Then when there is a weak immunity from coccidiosis, the best is just that the birds cannot fight the infection. So try as much as possible to reduce stress. Then once the environment is contaminated, that means that the oocytes will survive and reinfect the birds again. So try as much as possible to put strict hygiene into place. And also poor water management will encourage the wet litter, and the only way to prevent it is to fix the leakage and clean your drinkers regularly. I believe you've gotten tangible information from this video. Help me to grow my channel by clicking the subscribe button at no extra cost to you. Give this video a like. Drop your questions in the comments section and I will respond to them. Share for others to benefit. Thanks.